See, that's why I didn't get the novel.
Read a book, you illiterate son of a bitch. Step up your vocab.
Hi everyone, my name is Cree Miles, aka Black Emily Dickinson. The Black Emily Dickinson. Today I'm reviewing Jazz by Toni Morrison. This takes place during the Harlem Renaissance. It starts with the murder of a woman, young woman, named Dorcas, murdered by her lover at a party. She didn't have to die. She was shot in the shoulder, and her friends were insisting to take her to the hospital, but she said that she didn't need to go to the hospital, she'd be fine. The person who owned the house where the party was taking place came up to Dorcas and asked, "Who did this to you?" And Dorcas said, "I'll tell you in the morning." But she didn't live until the morning, she died. Dorcas's lover, name is Joe, and he's married to his wife Violet. Violet, upon finding out about her husband's affair, interrupts the funeral of the mistress, Dorcas, and tries to mutilate her face with a razor, and is carried out. She later says in the story that it was not her who attempted to do that, but the other her. Sis, I feel you. Other characters that should be noted: Dorcas's caregiver, Alice Manfred, very conservative woman, tried extremely hard to keep Dorcas on the conservative concept of straight and narrow. We go back to the South, where Joe and Violet originally met and fell in love, and we meet their parents, their grandparents. Backstory game strong. If I close Tar Baby like this, that was me reading Jazz. That's on me. That's on me. Shout out to the crafty curator who really helped me unpack this the day that I finished it. And one thing that she said that stuck with me immensely is, "Toni made you work for it." The other part of the story that is extremely unique in its structure was that Toni's intent was to emulate a jazz song when she created the story. So when I'm telling you the backstory is strong, what she was doing at those moments were jazz solos. I have a little brother named Gervis, hey, who graduates in May with a degree in jazz upright bass from the conservatory at Oberlin College. I asked him to send me a drum solo that he loves, and he said okay. And then I waited and I said, "I meant right now," and he said, "I know, I'm looking." And he was looking, and he sent me 7 Steps to Heaven by Miles Davis. So if you're like me and know the bare minimum about jazz, you still know who Miles Davis is, right? Like, we know who Davis is, Gillespie, Fitzgerald, Sarah Vaughan. Wait, is my jazz game strong? We all know Miles Davis. We all know that he is regarded as one of the best musicians of all time. We know that. I would never try to argue about that. So I asked my brother to send me this, and I specifically asked for drums only because my brother's primary instrument is bass, but I know that he is learning to play the drums because he's in music school and he's murdering it. Can play hella instruments. Shout out to my brother. So I know he's been listening to a lot of drum solos, so that's why I asked for the drums. And so he sent me this, and I played it at the beginning. We're gonna listen to it again, okay? So here's the thing. When people ask me, what do you think the hardest sport to play is? And my case every time is gymnastics. There is not a sport harder than gymnastics. You know what my argument is that almost every other sport that you play, you can just go out and try it real quick. You know, like if I've never played soccer, I can still just throw on some cleats and some shin pads, and I might look a fool on the field, but I can run up and down the field and try and kick the ball. Same with basketball. I can try and shoot, like I can try and attempt it. But that's the key difference with gymnastics. You can't. You have to learn the sport in increments. Otherwise, you will severely hurt yourself. Nobody can do a full twist layout the first time they step on a mat. I say that to say, you don't just listen to jazz for the first time and get it. It's because it's not easy. It's not an easy genre of music, and it wasn't meant to be. So I don't expect for my brother's favorite drum solo as a senior in college at a music conservatory studying jazz bass to understand what he's talking about. And it's the same way with jazz. I get the concept, I get the brilliance behind all of it, but I don't think that I have the background knowledge to appreciate it as I should. Does that make sense? I watched her interview with Charlie Rose, loved it. One thing that she said that I loved is that she wanted to have her work as intricate and supple as the music was, and as anything that Black people create when they're in a group together. And that's probably one of my favorite things about being Black, how we constantly push the levels of excellence. I'm honored to be a part of that group. So there's my jazz review, guys. If you've read it and you haven't already talked to me about it, because I didn't talk to 11 people about jazz the last few days, please comment below your feelings. If you're up for a challenge, read it. It's short, but not for the faint of heart. Toni didn't play no games. It really is a 12-minute jazz song as a novel. Narrator switching places all the time. Like, who's even talking at the end? It could have literally been Toni. She just inserts herself into the novel. That could have been an option. That's wild. Yes, I'll see you guys on Friday. Be blessed. Don't stop reading. That's all I got. Boy.